When I was 13, my dad takes me to, he was living in Ithaca at the time. I ended up getting into a bunch of trouble. My mom was like, "Oh, I can't take him." So I went and lived with my dad for the summertime out there in Ithaca. So my dad took me to Pyramid Studios out there. Pyramid Studios has a pretty crazy history.
In Ithaca.
Crazy history, heavy metal history, as well as that is the studio where like Aaliyah and Missy Elliott and all them would record their first shit, which is kind of crazy that it's in Pyramid Studios. But they were like they did a lot of their first shit out of that studio. Dope studio.
Yeah.
Super dope. So my dad, I told you, my dad was tapped into that heavy metal world. So what's the name of the group, man? They did the rap song with Public Enemy, Anthrax. So my dad got them their drummer. Their drummer that they had only has that job because they needed a drummer, and my dad brought them. I got a guy, right? So so my dad went to the studio while they were recording. So while they're recording, my dad knows I'm into hip hop. I don't fuck with the heavy metal. You know what I mean? He goes in there, he brings out this Roland drum machine. A little small, probably like that big. I forget the name of it. He brings out the drum machine. I'm so in a pair of headphones, because back then the drum machine was self-contained, right? You bought the drum machine, it had drums on it.
Oh, it like built in.
It just had drums in it. It didn't need a computer. It was a piece of hardware. You know what I mean? Back then there was no software. It was hardware.
Right.
So drum machines were drum machines. They had kicks, snares, couple different varieties of, toms and snares. And so they were all built into the machine, and there was pads, and it had its own sequencer and all that shit. Right. So my dad brings me out this Roland drum machine, and I'm just playing with it, figuring out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I make me a little beat, and I'm just in there rapping. I got the headphones on. I'm in the waiting room. My dad's in the studio part. I'm in the lounge. I'm just rapping. People are coming in and out. The band members are coming in and out. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, "Yo, that shit is cool as fuck." You know what I mean? What are you doing? They put the head and they're like, "Oh shit, I hear you rapping and shit." Like, whatever. And it's crazy because it's like that. After that, they ended up putting the rap song on their project, which is crazy to me. Like, I'm like, man, where'd you get that idea? As an adult, I'm remembering this, and I'm like, man, where'd you get that idea from?
That's pretty cool.
But Anthrax, y'all owe me a check.
Yeah.